Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Arizona Cardinals and the London Black Knights. Both of these teams about to reach the halfway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Young working out of the gun. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Young now to throw again into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. There he goes left side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. And the defense could not have written a much better script than that first drive, pick 6.
The offense never got a chance to really get oiled up there, did they? But the defense, they certainly got in gear. What a big-time play and a great way for them to start.
And now the offense, they've got to turn things around and figure this out because your backs are on the ground real quickly.
Yeah, usually when you're starting the game getting the ball, 0-0 is the only score you're worried about. Now the second time you get it, you're already down a touchdown.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded at the goal line. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Check, crunch.
Back to it after the pick 6. Young, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. A few issues here on the offensive line. Apparently, he got sacked 5 times last week. They got to him here in the first quarter.
And I would think that running the ball would be paramount here because it's a different team they're facing, but they watch the film as well. So they'll take many of those same principles and try and apply them in this game to see if they fixed what was wrong with them in the last game.
You got tight. You got tight right there. 5-2 is the mic. Mike 5-2.
To try again after the sack. Young. And that one was nearly picked. Not sure he was accounting for the free safety. Now it brings up 3rd down. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Young. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Young to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You never want to give up a sack. And from the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean. They want that uniform with no grass stains, no dirt, nothing on it. But it's really, really difficult. You're talking about some terrific athletes who are trying to put him on the ground.
And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. 15 yards on the play, 1st down.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
On 1st down, Taylor. And some room to run now. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A CD a lot of times like to separate speed and quickness, and they've got a back that's both. We know that he's fast in the open field, but, man, his first step is so quick, too.
It is something, isn't it? Because you think of that type of speed getting to the perimeter and turning upfield, but also when you run those inside runs, he can get into the secondary so fast the linebackers don't have a chance to react.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Here's Taylor. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. To throw, Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
Young on 3rd down. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, they've already allowed 3 sacks in this first half, now a holding penalty.
So I think drastic measures had to be taken, right? The regular way was not working. He was getting hit almost every snap, it felt like. They had to try and keep him upright.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Rip left, rip left. Rush in, rush in, rush in.
Out of the gun, it's Young. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on 4th down.
Push him back. Check, check.
Here's Young. They'll indeed go for it. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check, 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 check.
And they give this time to the tailback. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
Check 20. Check 15. Check 9, check 9.
On 2nd down now, McFarland. That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
And it's 3rd down.
Ready? 15 on it. 15 on it. 58 right there. All day. All day. Come on. Come on. Check that free. Slam, slam, slam. Slam. Good. 58 to Mike. 58. Put it back.
They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. He's going to loft it deep right sideline. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. And into the red zone now. And Charles, they told us offense in the red zone was a focus this week in practice.
A huge priority, and the key was to get points, so you know that all the time during the week they talked about executing, taking care of the football, no big mistakes, make sure they put points on the board and come out of it with that.
Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. If you're going to run against this unit, especially down here, just beware. I mean, they're the top rushing defense in the league.
Yeah, and then they go ahead and they double down with the whole thing because you think, okay, let's throw the ball. Oh, yeah, that's right. They defend the pass pretty well, too. Very difficult task right now.
On 2nd down, McFarland. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Looking to throw. West. That's complete right around the 8. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
First down and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball.
And eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield.
Every time, that's a sack. Come on, fellas.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Young to throw it. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Tremaine Edmonds, the linebacker.
Good job.
Guys take over 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
They'll run on 1st down. McFarland. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on 2nd down.
I can't believe they even let you play. 58, come on. 58, come on. Check, 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 check. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah.
To throw on 2nd down. West Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Powers. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. In for the score. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line.
Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup there.
Well, that play looks familiar because we saw them working on it in practice this week. And for a lineman trying to block on this play, they love when they get the defense moving in one direction. And when they try and change directions, it's a lot easier to pick them up and ward them off.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cook running right. And he'll get a little over 2, maybe a full 3 down to the 32-yard line.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. They run with Taylor. No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose. And the Cardinals have got it. Going the other way. And they will finally run him down, but not until he brings us all the way back down inside the 10-yard line. So the turnover forced, and a wonderful job on a big return.
And how about the convoy that got created to help him get all the way back upfield? I mean, that's the part that people miss on.
And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. A great effort there. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the Cardinals push further out in front. Badgley on for the extra point. And the lead is now 24. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go and try and put some pressure on the defense.
There's a ball thrown right side and complete. That one covers 29 yards. 1st down.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver who has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
This quarterback now 4 out of 10 throwing the ball in this first half, but he's got a first down here. Here's Young. He finds Taylor, complete. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33.
First and 10.
To the air once more, Young. Oh, he's able to outmuscle him here as he pulls it in. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Now Young. And he cannot get away, and Young will go down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been under constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. Young. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. That's sacked by Tremaine Edmonds.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Here's Young from the shotgun. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
At their own 19-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have, and think back to our meeting with the head coach, and we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down.
Mike, 58, right there. Hey, defense, our time. It's our time. Hey, switch gears, switch gears.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Looking to throw on 2nd down. West going for the deep ball. And that one almost intercepted. Call it a 50-50 ball. It falls incomplete, and now 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, You've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
58's the mic. 58's the mic. In your face. 58, right over there, right over there. Yeah.
To throw on third down. West. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? But it definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. It hasn't gone particularly well for them. That's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
Throwing, Young. It's loose, the ball bouncing around, and it's going to go out of the back of the end zone, so that is going to be a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point.
That's it, baby. We gonna work.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 24-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. So the safety, obviously a big play, but now the offense, maybe they feel pressure to score with the defense doing something like that.
And it's good pressure because they put them in a nice spot now, having scored the points on defense, turn the ball back over to them. You're right, there's pressure to score, but they feel good about their chances.
That's good. They like that pressure. 18 on that one, and the Cardinals have a first down. One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. Well, that's a perfect example of how he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's game. He is just all around the football right now, isn't he?
That he is, and it's funny because I talked with the coaching staff about drills that they do in practice, and one of them is called matching hands. And as soon as that hand is launched by the quarterback, you throw up the opposite hand and match that hand with the QB, and oftentimes you're able to
pressure, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back right around the 44. Lorenzo Carter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Here's Johnny Hacker now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. And a short pickup here as he'll get across the 10 to the 11-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
Brings up 3rd and 6.
The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. It's Young off play action. And he will find his man on the end route. Complete. That'll put him at 66 receiving yards now for the game. And he's got a first down. The play fake. Now Young. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Young looks to throw on first down. Jones has it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. Now here's Young. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Looking to throw, Young. Caught by Jones. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Young to throw on 4th. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at about the 31. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. The struggles continue here offensively. Still nothing for them on the scoreboard, and now an interception.
Yeah, the offense looks extremely sluggish, not really in sync at all. Dare I say, it looks like it got left behind in customs.
Oh, you've had that in your back pocket. You were waiting for that.
Probably should have left it in my back pocket, too.
Well played. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
52's the mic. Here we go, here we go. He's coming. Double up, double up. He's coming. Weak. Orbit. Two's the mic. Go. Part 2, Mike, part 2. It's a party now. It's a party now.
Operating from the gun, West. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Powers. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. A good pickup there, 13 yards as they get closer for 3rd down.
3rd down.
Ready. Get it roll. West. Hey. Show it up.
On 3rd down, McFarland. And he will not only not get the yard he needed, he goes the wrong direction. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Situation. Let's go. 58, right over there. Yeah.
They're going to try and throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 21 yards there. A big play on 4th down. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive.
No. Check the backer, check the backer.
Now a give, right side. McFarland, and he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 34-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. 4 receivers now in the formation. 3 to the left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 7.
I'm coming on, try. 58's the mic. 58's the mic. Come on, D. 58, right over there. Yeah.
Here's the 2nd and 7. He's going to look deep down the field. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
On 3rd down, McFarland. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. And he's just short. He got 6 of the 7 he needed, so that leaves a decision here on 4th and a yard. Now, the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down.
58, boys, 58. 58's Mike. There we go. Ready. 58's the Mike.
From the gun, West. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Now the ball comes loose, and this is picked up by the defense.
All these years we've been watching the game, I start to get the sense that whenever it rains out, those guys who have to touch the ball and carry it, they're extremely resentful about that weather.
Yeah, I'm just happy I'm not resentful that we have a roof over our heads. I know that much.
Yeah, maybe we won't fumble our play sheets here as we just saw the fumble happen on the field.
Here we go. Shoot, go to base. Shoot. Use the mic. Tackles. He's crashing.
On 2nd down now, McFarland looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Cardinals on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Back to throw. West to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Fielded about a yard deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 30-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it? It's under a heavy rush, and down he goes. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. They'll run with Taylor. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. This offense so far on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Now Young. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. The 4th down pass play doesn't work out. And now possession's going to go over with the 20-yard line.
Check 13. Let's go.
On 1st down, McFarland. He'll get forward for 3 down to the 16-yard line. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose it down on the grounding call.
Hey, Mike 52. Mike 52. All right, T, let's try. All right, T. 52's the Mike. Watch Mike. Ready?
Operating from the gun. West. And he's going to go down. They get to him back at the 40. Lorenzo Carter. What a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. Well, they can probably live with that with this late lead in the 4th quarter. That's one of the few things that's gone wrong.
You're exactly right. This one was well in hand. That kick there was more for cosmetics, to add to their score. Not getting it, that shouldn't harm them at all.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And I think we've got a hold here. It's a 5-yard pickup for the moment. Let's see what our referee says. You need your wide receivers as blockers. Sometimes they get a hold.
The big runs are often a result of what they do on the perimeter. In this case, got caught holding, and this one will come back.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. They go to the ground again with Taylor. He finds some open, and he loses the football a 2nd time. And the Cardinals have got it, going the other way.
As they say, this game hasn't exactly been one for the books. I mean, we're into the 4th quarter here, and now this happens, another turnover. Not one that they're going to hold up and say, yeah, this has been a banner day.
Absolutely. Still sitting on 0. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. A running play here on 1st down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
And now a throw here secured by his running back out of the backfield.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
On third down, West. It's caught inside the 25. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know they're playing people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. And a nifty return there as he's all the way up past the 40-yard line.
Even after that big-time return, it's not looking great for them today. But if nothing else, even if the miracle doesn't happen, they can turn to this play and say, hey, we can move forward. Maybe it's a building block for the rest of the season.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Young. Buying time to his left. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 22. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the second week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirt.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. Like you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
3 bud, 3 bud, 3 bud, take. 36.
They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on 3rd down. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he gets this only to the 41, not near enough for the first. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go in the football game. Here's Johnny Hecker now as he's on to punt for Arizona. Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room and get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time